recording? Is mine recording? This is the recording button. That's why. Boop. That's why. Okay. Let me double check that yours is recording. I just like to double check to make sure it's recording. Mine's also recording. Perfect. Put on those headphones.
Am I going to be able to hear you through the headphones? Hello? Oh, this is weird.
Yep, you're on air. Ooh.
Okay.
Why is it sounding like that? Oh, there we go. Okay, that's why. Speak.
Hiya.
I think
We have Darth Vader online.
there's very weird. Speak now.
Hiya.
Now.
Hi.
Wait. Presets.
ASMR.
Speak now.
Speak now.
Speak now.
Right.
Forever hold your peace. This is, the settings are kind of weird, because I think it's not.
I'll say everything feels so amplified.
It's really amplified. It's not typically this amplified. Fingers, maybe?
What?
The audio's very... System. Network information. Fucking hell. God damn it.
Ooh. Ooh.
2 recordings. Import, export. Let me
What's the sound of that money?
Drum. Crickets, applause.
Crickets
Settings.
applause. No. Oh, wow.
System. Wait. Speak.
I'm a speaking.
It's just very... Like, you can hear yourself breathing. Okay.
I know, right? Can you edit it out after, maybe?
I'm just trying to figure out... There's a reason why it's doing that, and I have no idea what the fuck it is. What I think I'm gonna do is settings. How do I restart? There's a way to restart this.
Can you hear
This
that,
is what I
Jay?
hate, when people fuck with the settings and don't switch them back.
Rip.
Oh, wait, now speak.
Speak now.
That's what it is. Okay,
What?
I figured it out. Yours is still like that. I'm gonna fix yours in a second.
Okie
Ooh,
dokie.
Period.
Now you sounded like you're running a marathon.
Facts. Where is your microphone?
I'm mic 2 or 3.
I'm mic 2, I think.
I'm looking at mic 2.
You're mic 2?
You're mic 1.
I'm mic... Sly. Okay. Headphones back on.
Headphones back on.
Speak one more time for me.
Speaking one more time.
Sly. Okay, so here we are. We are about ready to get started.
Perfect.
Why don't we do a 20-minute episode?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so I am going to start my timer right now. I'll tell you when we're going. What I'm going to do is I am going to go 1, 2, 3. We both clap.
Okay.
And then we are
As
gonna
I
get right
clap,
into
it's
it.
going to go up.
All right, so we're going to go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Welcome back to Scoop's Latest, where in every episode we talk about different topics involving the guest that comes on each. Wait, don't pull on.
It's fine. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to...
Wait, yeah, wait, speak. Wait, if you don't touch it, wait.
Speaking. Can you hear me still?
Yeah, let me just up your audio. Wait,
Okay.
speak now?
Speaking now?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, yeah, that's just...
That way, we'll
Yeah.
restart. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
3,
2, 1.
Welcome back to Scoop's Latest, where in every episode we talk about different topics involving the guest that comes on each episode. This podcast allows for people to share their opinions, perspectives, and is an open space of listening and collaboration. I'm your host, Kate Ryan, and today I'm here with...
Sydney.
In today's episode, Sydney will be sharing her cancer surviving story and the way it has impacted her. Welcome, Sydney. I'm so grateful to have you here with us today.
Happy to be here.
Here is my first question for you. Can you take us back to the moment you first received your diagnosis? How did you feel when you heard the news?
Sure. So back in like when I first got the news, I was fairly young. We'd just gotten back from a trip from Disney World, and when I was there, I looked so like not like a normal kid. I looked like I had a watermelon in my stomach. I was already growing like pubic hair and stuff, and I genuinely just didn't look like I was like a normal kid. Like something looked wrong already from the start. But when I got back from Disney, I got a really bad fever, which is what triggered my family to start getting worried about me, and then they brought me to the ER. They took one look, they like started pressing on my stomach and stuff, and then they were like, she needs to go to the hospital for further analysis. So then I got into an ambulance and they drove me off to the hospital. And when I was there, they were like, you have been diagnosed with cancer, but not just any type of cancer. You're diagnosed with adrenal carcinoma, which is typically an adult form of cancer. So it was so rare that only 3 cases had been in the hospital and all had been adult. So they had never seen anything like this before.
So this was a very new case for that situation.
It was a very new case and a very new way they had to go about treating me too, because they had never had anything like it. I was kind of a precedent for them. They had to refer to St. Jude's and just kind of figure out what they did and how, like, confer with other doctors as what would be a way to step forward through this.
I'm so sorry to hear that. I really am. But
It's
I'm really happy that you're here with us today.
Thank you very much.
Of course. My second question for you is, what was the most surprising or difficult part of your diagnosis? Was it the fact that it was a rare diagnosis, or was it just all things that come along with it?
I think the surprising element was definitely like the type of cancer, because you would hear about the same stuff all the time, like blood, bone, breast cancer, stuff like that. But you never hear about like these rare cases all the time too. Like they don't have like those treatments, so that's why like donating to like Stand Up to Cancer and like Levine's is very beneficial, because that goes to research to helping not only just all different types of cancers, but childhood cancers that are rare and specific.
The ones that aren't typically diagnosed.
Exactly.
The ordinary person.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, definitely, for sure. I feel like that's something that we as people need to continue doing.
Right.
Is funding these organizations that are for a good cause.
Yes.
That's why nonprofits are so highly needed
Exactly.
in this time in society. Because if we don't have those, then how the hell are we supposed to grow?
Exactly.
We need to help the people that we can, right?
Oh yeah, no, of course. And like a really good foundation to also donate to is the Ronald McDonald House. They house families that need to be close to the hospitals. They have like a whole housing system where families as well as like the kids can go over to like a sterilized environment and make sure that they're safe, but also see their family, and their family can rush over to the hospital if any complications occur. It's so good, and like so many people help out there too. I know my family stayed there for a short period of time while I was in the hospital, but it's amazing to see how people come together in these situations too.
Oh, definitely. I think with those nonprofit organizations, especially one that's such a huge cause that can help anyone who's been diagnosed with cancer in that situation, it just helps that person feel loved and appreciated as well, to know that there's people out there who care, and everybody wants people to live and to
Of course.
stay alive.
Right.
I know for me, my aunt had breast cancer, actually. I was alive. I was very young at the time that she had it. I'm like 95% positive I was alive. I was very young when it happened, because it was my mom's twin that had it.
Right.
So now my mom goes, because they're identical. She goes every couple months
Mm-hmm.
to get her breast checked.
How long has she been out of remission?
She's been out of it for a really long time.
Okay.
They've seen no signs of cancer coming back or any of that.
Yay!
So that's always a good sign.
Right.
Good to hear. Good news.
Indeed.
So, but even for me, I mean, I'm so high end just because it runs in my family about just like checking and making sure, because it's not one of those things that, I guess, until you find out you have it, it's not one of those things that affects you right away.
No, you don't feel it. Like, you don't know you have it until you've been diagnosed. Like, you will see subtle signs,
Mm-hmm.
but you'll never know what they mean until, like, a medical professional who has studied years for this knows what it means.
No, for sure, that's the thing, and it really, I mean, for me, like when I, everybody, if you have, if cancer runs in your family, make sure you check your breasts, then, you check other places.
Right.
My aunt said hers felt like a hard little mini ball, and that's what hers felt like. Everyone's is different, but
yes, everyone's is different, but like it is also important to know like these types of cancers are also so like they are so prevalent in today's society too. Like almost everybody has like a story of knowing somebody or has had like someone like they know just in type of situation that has had cancer or knows someone who's died of cancer. Like I know both of my grandparents died of lung cancer, so it's just kind of prevalent to talk about still.
Yeah, and I think cancer, I don't know the statistics.
Right.
But I feel as though cancer is definitely a high-end cause of death.
Yeah.
And it's so sad because we still don't have the cure for it. We don't know how to
well, it's so like
get rid of it.
it's so different. Like each form is so different. They all need different cures. It's just like a cellular level mutation that like is just keeps rapidly evolving. That you can't like we just can't figure out how to stop in certain cases.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing. I feel like what you said. There's so many different forms of it. It presents itself so differently.
Right. There's no
so
generic cure.
Mm-hmm.
Like how there was with like COVID. There was vaccines that came out. Like there's never going to be something like that for cancer.
Yeah. I think hopefully maybe as we continue to study it, maybe we can find some cures for specific types of
Well,
cancer.
again, there are certain treatments that do help are higher chances of success versus some other kinds. It's just those lower kinds that need more studying.
Did your specific type of cancer, did you do chemotherapy for
Yes,
it?
I did in fact do chemotherapy. I was 3 years old again, so like I had just gotten like some of my hair, like I was really curly, like strawberry blonde looking. And then when I was going through chemo, it made all my hair fall out. So then when it was gone, like it came back again, it grew back straight and it grew back dirty blonde. It varies per person, but it really does like wipe you out. My treatment lasted around a year, so like I got out when I was like 4-ish.
4?
Yeah.
Did it impact when you did finally stop your chemo treatment? Did it not just impact you emotionally, but were there any like physical impacts from it as well?
Yeah, there was actually a ton, but not specifically from the chemo. Because, like, again, my hair grew back and, like, I'm fine now. But all these, since my type of cancer was so rare, they had to try and, like, be experimental. Try this amount of drug, try this amount of drug, try this type of drug. And all these types of drugs, like, had varying effects on me. Short period of time, I couldn't walk. I was in a wheelchair. And then others would make me so drowsy that like I couldn't even walk in a straight line. And some also damaged my hearing. So I am actually diagnosed partially deaf in one ear because I also have to go back and I have to go get auditory testing to go and see like, can this ear hear this? Can this ear hear this? Is it going even worse? Fortunately, it hasn't gotten too much worse. But like, again, like loud environments will really damage it. So like a concert per se, like so for normal people it's like no big deal, kind of fine. Meanwhile I have like the hearing of like a 45-year-old plus woman that's like I don't hear a lot of stuff easily, and like I feel so bad too being like, what were you saying? What did you say? Because then people start getting annoyed, like thinking I'm not paying attention or something.
That's kind of, I mean, yours is you're partially deaf.
Yeah, partially deaf.
Sorry. Sometimes
when you get a little tongue-tied.
And then I get tongue-tied. That's just a very hard word for me to say.
Love.
For me, I mean, not to compare, your circumstances to mine, but for me, I have auditory processing issues.
I do too.
So, also you have that as well.
I have that as well. It's also part of it, like, I have slower processing, and, like, I don't grasp things, like, if I'm, like, again, too early in the morning, like, Most people will be like, oh yeah, I don't process anything in the morning. Genuinely, I don't actually process things in the morning. My brain cannot function that way. It just actually doesn't pick up the information.
Mhm.
So having last semester a 7:50 and an 8:30, like on alternating days, I was not learning much, and I was having to pretty much teach myself.
Was there a way for you to send in, like, to let them know to switch your...
Oh yeah, I
Classes?
have accommodations too, saying that I have priority registration for these reasons to get out of like doing these 7:50s and 8:30s. But it also depends, since my major is so niche.
I feel it's pretty... A lot of people are interior design majors here.
A lot are.
It's a popular major.
It is a
here,
popular
I believe.
major, but there's only so many teachers. So that's the issue. It's not that it's a small major, it's that there's not enough teachers to teach the major. And that they have only certain times in the day that they can teach certain grades and classes. So I had to do 7:30 or 7:50 and 8:30s, because otherwise I wouldn't get the classes at all. Yeah.
That's pretty
It is pretty
Sorry,
brutal.
that was not the right thing to say.
No, you can say it.
Don't cancel, please.
No, it was brutal. You can say it like that. It was fucking. It was fucking brutal.
Sometimes I say something and I'm like, damn, that was way too long.
You're like, ooh, wait a
Wait,
sec.
hold on, maybe I should have thought before those words came out of my mouth. But
Dude.
I mean, should we tell them about how you told me that you had
Oh
cancer?
yeah. You should definitely say that. I want you to say it.
Me and Sydney were going through the recruitment process, and our philanthropy is Children's Miracle Network.
Yeah.
And I had no idea Sydney had cancer as a child, like, at this point. And we've been friends probably for a year at this point, I'd say.
Yeah.
And we're in recruitment, and I'm sitting there, and we're going into the foyer. If you're in a sorority, you know how this works. But we're in the foyer, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, I don't know some of the things to ask the P&Ms.
Right.
Like, I can yap forever, but when it comes to talking about the philanthropy, I have an emotional connection to
Right.
it, because I mean, who wouldn't want to help, Children's Miracle Network?
Exactly.
But at the same time, I'm like, I don't really have a personal story.
Right.
So then Sydney was like, well, I had cancer as a child. And then I sat there. And
I was
at
like, you
first,
can use my story.
At first I thought she was like making like
A very
a
fucked up joke.
Because sometimes like our sense of humors can be that way.
We're very sassy
And then
people.
and I was like, I looked at her and I was like, wait, are you serious?
I'm like,
She's
yes.
like, yeah, you didn't know. I was like, no. And then I started laughing because of that she had cancer.
Right, but you're laughing
But
at
I
the
was laughing
ridiculousness of
'cause
the situation.
I was like, damn, fucking trauma dump.
Well, like, again, like, I'm
Just
not...
dropped the bomb on me right there, and I was like, oh.
Well, again, it's not like I'm going around advertising it. Like, I don't want to be known as the cancer girl and stuff. I don't want people going around being like, oh, she had cancer and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, and like, it's like, I don't want to have like the pity aspect. Like, I'm fine now. I am totally fine. I got off all my medications. I only go back for like a checkup every like year-ish. But like, overall, it's just like, I'm fine. I don't want to be defined by it. And like, I do still have like certain aspects where like I have the giant scar across my stomach for where they had to cut me open for surgery, and I have a port scar too. But like, I'm not going around flashing it. But when it's kind of like when I do, and I wear like something a little bit more cropped, like I'm still proud of it. Like, it's part of me, and it's not like I'm ashamed of it. It's just a little bit of a source of an insecurity.
Yeah, and I think that's something that us, as a society, I feel as though that happens so much.
Mm-hmm.
We feel so insecure about our scars, especially the ones that are on the outside, because, you have scars on the inside, too, your emotional scars.
Oh yeah, you know
Slay.
it. Slay.
The ones that are on the outside, we're
They're a bit more
taught
prominent,
to
and people just
be insecure about it.
Exactly.
Because
Well, people do look. As much as we've gotten better as a society about being more accepting and such, there are still cases where I will get looks. Like if I wear a crop top and then I'm like actively displaying it, or like I'm wearing a sports bra in the gym or something, people will stare at me. People will be like trying to see if it's like an ab line or if it's like what it is.
That's something we need to teach our kids as well when it comes to
Right.
knowing proper etiquette for people that do have any type of scar or any type of, well, not that your scars would it be considered a deformity?
It technically is a deformity. It's not like I wouldn't. It's hard to like explain. Like each scar is so different. Like it's not the usual part of your body. So like it's kind of a deformity. It's like a kind of.
Okay, because
Great
that's
line.
the thing. I feel as though those deformities or those physical differences
Yes.
that are out of the, I guess, norm. Not
Yes.
everybody has them. We're taught to be insecure about them,
Mm-hmm.
but I think I think everybody's. Those things are beautiful. Not the fact that you had cancer.
Right.
but
I
it's-
get what you're
I just
saying.
said that. I just like said that and then I was like, oh.
You're like, oh wait.
Let me just explain farther in case.
You're good.
Like your
No, yeah.
scars.
It is a part of me, and it's
Yeah.
something
It's
I
your
still
story.
appreciate. It's a part of my story. And yes, I'm like, times where I'm like, I'm proud, I can display it, it's fine. But then there are some times where it's like, yeah, let's not today.
People need to be more aware when people do have those scars and those deformities to also not stare at it.
Well, like, again, I think it's like also a subconscious thing.
Yeah,
'Cause
sometimes
I've
you're not
seen
aware of it.
Yes,
Mhm.
I know certain people who are like good people who like have genuine like reasons, or not reasons, but like intentions that also just happen to be like
And be staring at it and
yeah,
not even realize
like a
they're
little
staring
side
at
eye
it.
being like ooh.
It's like when you're attracted to someone and you're staring at them, and then you're like, oh
Exactly.
wait, shit. Like I totally.
You're like, wait,
was
I be
just-
looking too
I was
long.
like, wait, hold up. They probably like think I'm like staring into their soul.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. So I understand that as well. I mean, it can be difficult sometimes to even be aware of the fact that you're looking at something,
Right.
but you just gotta be aware.
Exactly. You just have
Try to be aware of what's happening.
Mhm.
And I mean, I know for me, because we've gone to the pool together before I even knew that you had
Yeah.
cancer. And
Did you think
Let's
it was an
be
ad
real.
line?
no, I didn't even notice.
Good for you.
I don't know if I'm very clueless though. So to be honest with you, like I'm a pretty clueless human being, so I just don't. But I didn't notice it. And
Thank you.
that's why oh my god, I totally forgot part of the story. When in the recruitment, when you told me you had cancer,
Yeah.
you were like, did you not notice my big scar?
Yes!
And I was standing there and I was like, what big scar? And then you like lightly like showed me.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, but I genuinely never noticed it.
Yeah, Kate's just
I'm
blind.
not a bad friend, I
You're
swear.
not a bad friend.
But I totally
It's just so funny.
It's never came up before, and it's just something that I was like, I just
That's really
Didn't
good of you.
notice it.
That's so good of you, I'm gonna say. It's so good of you. Like, I just thought you were like, I'm not gonna bring it up, that's fine. I'm like, okay, slay. Because, like, there are other people that are like, are you okay? Like, can I, like, do this around you? Is this fine? Can I, like, I know some people smoke and such, and they're like, oh my gosh, can I smoke around you? Is that gonna be okay? Because, like, I'm more susceptible to other cancers, already having cancer.
I mean, it comes from a good place, but
Right, but
at
like
the
it
same
just also
time-
comes as coddling too,
Mm.
which is like why I don't exactly go publicly displaying it, because people are like, is this okay around you? Are you okay still? It's just like enough, please.
It definitely, when people do that, it does come from a good place, but you know, it depends on the person too.
Facts.
Some people are like, oh, that's so sweet, but then some people are like,